She burned my passport in the fireplace, laughing as the flames ate my identity. But that wasn't the worst part. It was the note she left. Enjoy staying home. Ethan Santorini's calling. If this hits you in the gut, stick with me. This is my cheating wife story. And it's not what you expect. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to Viora for more stories that'll shake your soul. My name's Ethan Carter, and I'm 38, the guy who thought he had it all. A cozy craftsman house in Portland, a tech startup I built from late-night coffee runs to a 7-figure valuation, and a wife, Lauren, who I swore was my forever. We met at a rainy bookshop event 10 years ago, her hazel eyes sparking over a shared love for Vonnegut. I was a scrappy coder then, and she was a budding influencer, all charm and ambition. I loved her fire, her laugh, the way she'd curl into me on stormy nights. We were the couple everyone envied. Date nights at food trucks, weekend hikes, her hand in mine like it was glued there. I thought loyalty was our unspoken vow. Guess I was wrong. This isn't just another one of those cheating stories you scroll through on Reddit. This is my life, and it unraveled faster than a cheap sweater. It started with little things. Lauren's phone buzzed at 2 a.m., and she'd swipe it away saying it was just notifications. She started wearing tighter dresses, her makeup sharper, her smiles rarer, at least for me. She'd vanish for girls' nights that stretched past midnight. Her stories vague, her perfume different. I wasn't paranoid, but doubt crept in like damp rot. I've read cheating wife stories, I told myself. But Lauren's not like that. I wanted to believe it. I needed to. The first twist hit on a Tuesday. I was prepping for a client pitch when I found her laptop open, email tab glaring. I wasn't snooping. Okay, maybe I was, but only because her late work meetings didn't add up. There it was, a confirmation for 2 tickets to Santorini, her name and some guy named Mason. Not me. My chest tightened, like someone had parked a truck on it. I scrolled, hands shaking, and found more flirty emails, heart emojis, plans to get away from it all. I felt like I was drowning in my own living room, the rain outside mocking me through the window. I could have confronted her, yelled, thrown her laptop, demanded answers. But rage wasn't my style. I'm a planner, a builder. If Lauren thought she could break me, she'd learn I don't crumble. That night, she came home all fake smiles and "How was your day?" I played along, my voice, steady, my eyes on her like a hawk. "Great," I said, stirring pasta, the steam hiding my clenched jaw. "You?" She mumbled about work, her phone glued to her hand. I saw it then, the lie in her fidgety fingers, the guilt she didn't bother hiding. This wasn't just infidelity story time. This was war, and I was arming myself in silence. The next twist came fast. I installed a nanny cam in the living room. Not proud of it, but I needed proof. 2 days later, I had it. Lauren and Mason tangled on our couch, laughing like I didn't exist. He was lean, slick, the kind of guy who'd charm your mom while stealing your wallet. The footage caught her whispering, "Ethan's too busy with work. He won't notice." My blood boiled, but I didn't stop the tape. I watched them mock me. Her voice sharp. "He's so predictable. I need this, Mason." Predictable. I'd built a company from nothing. I'd loved her through every storm, but predictable. That was her first mistake. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I dug deeper. I hacked into her cloud. Don't judge. Betrayal makes you resourceful. Photos, texts, plans to start fresh in Greece. She'd been siphoning money from our joint account, funneling it to some offshore setup. My money. Our money. The betrayal wasn't just emotional cheating, it was calculated. I sat in my office, the glow of my monitor burning my eyes, and made a choice. I wasn't the victim in this cheating wife story. I was the one rewriting the ending. Enter Claire, my business partner and the sharpest mind I know. She's 35. All no-nonsense grit. The kind of friend who'd spot a lie before you finish the sentence. I showed her the footage, my voice flat, but my hands shaking. "Ethan," she said, her eyes narrowing. "You don't deserve this. Let's make her regret it." Claire wasn't just loyal. She was lethal with strategy. We moved fast, transferring my company's assets to a new LLC one. Lauren couldn't touch. $2 million secured in hours. I felt a spark of control, like I was clawing my life back. Then came Harper, Mason's ex. I tracked her down through a mutual friend, a risky move, but I was past caution. Harper was 29, a graphic designer with a warm smile and a broken heart. Over coffee she spilled everything. Mason's lies, his charm. How he'd left her for Lauren after draining her savings. "He's a leech," she said, her voice cracking. And Lauren, she knew about me. Harper handed me a USB drive, texts, voicemails. Proof of their affair stretching back a year. I gripped the drive like a grenade, my mind racing. This wasn't just a wife-cheating confession. It was a conspiracy, and I had the evidence to blow it apart. The next curveball hit when Lauren escalated. She didn't just cheat, she humiliated me. That's where the passport came in. I found the ashes in the fireplace, her note pinned to the mantel. She'd burned my chance to follow her, to confront her, to salvage anything. I stood there, the smell of charred paper in my nose, and something snapped. Not anger, clarity. I packed a bag, grabbed the keys to my old Jeep, and left. But not before leaving my own note. "You wanted freedom. Lauren, you've got it." Check the safe inside, a single photo of us, happier times, and an empty folder labeled "Our Future." Let her wonder. I wasn't running, I was regrouping. Claire set up a meeting with Riley, a journalist friend who owed me a favor. Riley was 40, all wit and tenacity, the kind of writer who could make a scandal sing. I handed her the USB, the footage. Everything. "This isn't just a cheating wife caught on camera," I told her. "It's a betrayal of trust, of love, of everything I built." Riley's eyes lit up. "Ethan, this is gold. Lauren's got 50K followers, all eating her perfect wife act. Let's tear it down." We crafted a plan, a series of articles, anonymous leaks, each one a dagger to Lauren's polished facade. The drama peaked when Lauren and Mason left for Santorini. I didn't follow. I didn't need to. Riley's first article dropped, titled, "The Influencer's Secret, a Cheating Wife. Exposed." It spread like wildfire. Reddit threads exploding with cheating stories. Tags Lauren's followers turned, her sponsors balked, her perfect world cracked. I watched from a hotel room, Claire by my side as the comments rolled in. Caught her cheating, reaction is brutal. Husband revenge story done right. I didn't smile, I didn't gloat, I just felt empty. The rain outside mirrored my mood, steady and unrelenting. But I wasn't done. I started building something new, a platform called Haven, a space for people like me, betrayed but unbroken. It was raw, real. No filters, no lies. I poured my pain into it, coding through the night, my fingers flying as memories of Lauren's laugh haunted me. Was I wrong to fight back? Or was I protecting the man I still wanted to be? I didn't know. All I knew was that this cheating wife story wasn't over, not yet. The hotel room was a cage of shadows, the neon glow from a diner sign bleeding through the blinds. My laptop flickered. Haven's code, a lifeline I clung to as Portland's rain hammered the window. Lauren was in Santorini, probably draped over Mason, her laughter echoing in my head like a taunt. This wasn't just another cheating story I'd skim on Reddit. This was my life shredded by her betrayal, and I was done playing the wounded husband. I was rewriting the rules of this cheating wife story, and Lauren would learn what it meant to underestimate me. Claire's voice cut through my thoughts, sharp as a switchblade. "Ethan, Lauren's not just sunbathing. She's scheming." We sat in my cramped hotel suite, papers strewn across the bed bank. Statements, screenshots, timelines. Claire had tapped her network, pulling strings I didn't know existed. Her latest post, she said, shoving her phone at me, calls the articles cyberbullying. She's framing herself as the victim, and Mason's eating it up. The Instagram story showed Lauren on a cliffside, wind in her hair, captioning it, "Rising above the lies. Truth wins truth." The word burned. Her truth was a passport in ashes, a note mocking my trust. I leaned back, the mattress creaking, and felt the first spark of something new, not rage but resolve. This infidelity story time wasn't hers to spin. The first twist hit like a sucker punch. Harper Mason's ex called at 3 a.m., her voice trembling but fierce. "Ethan, you need to see this." She'd sent a zip file hacked from Tessa's cloud. Tessa, Lauren's ride-or-die friend who'd toasted our vows at our wedding. The file was a gut-wrenching archive group, chats, voice memos, even a shared Google Doc titled Operation Freedom. Tessa wasn't just complicit, she was the architect. One message seared into me: "Ethan's too busy coding to notice. Let's make sure he stays that way." Another from Lauren: He's so predictable, Tess. I'm done living for him. Predictable I'd built a tech empire from a garage. I'd loved her through her failed startups, her tears, her dreams. But predictable. My hands shook the laptop's hum, drowning out the rain. This wasn't just a wife-cheating confession. It was a conspiracy, and Tessa was the puppet master. I met Harper at a dive bar, the kind with sticky floors and jukebox whales. She slid into the booth, her eyes red but steady, a USB drive in her hand. Tessa's been feeding Mason your schedules, she said, her voice low. Every meeting, every late night, she made sure you were out of the way. I stared at the drive, its weight heavier than it should have been. Harper's story spilled out. Tessa had introduced Lauren to Mason at a gallery opening, knowing he was a predator. She wanted Lauren to live a little. Harper said, her lip curling. But it's more than that. Tessa's jealous, always has been. Your house, your life. She hated playing second fiddle, I saw it then. Tessa's tight smiles at our barbecues, her barbed compliments about Lauren's perfect marriage. The betrayal wasn't just personal, it was a vendetta. I pocketed the drive, the bar's neon buzz mirroring the storm in my chest. Claire was next her office, a fortress of glass and steel. She'd hired a forensic accountant, and the results were damning. Lauren hadn't just siphoned $200 She'd rerouted $500 through a maze of shell companies all tied to Mason. He's not her lover. Ethan. Claire said, her eyes cold. He's her partner in crime. Mason's done this before. Seduces, steals, vanishes. Lauren's his golden goose, but she's too blind to see it. The numbers stared back at me, a ledger of my trust. Our joint account, my bonuses, the nest egg for the family we'd planned, gone. I pictured Lauren's note, her smug Santorini's calling, and felt my jaw tighten. This wasn't just a cheating wife caught on camera. It was a heist, and I'd been the vault. The next curveball came from Riley. We met in a foggy park, her trench coat slick with mist. Ethan, I've got something bigger, she said, handing me a folder. Inside were Mason's court records. Fraud, embezzlement, a restraining order from a woman in Denver. He'd left a trail of wreckage, a single mom in Tacoma, a realtor in Vegas, all charmed and discarded. Lauren's not his first. Riley said, she won't be his last. I flipped through the pages, each one a nail in Mason's coffin. But Riley wasn't done. There's more. Tessa's been skimming too small amounts, untraceable, from Lauren's influencer deals. She's playing both sides. Tessa. The loyal friend was a snake profiting off Lauren's downfall. I stood there, the mist curling around me, and felt the ground shift. This husband revenge story wasn't just about Lauren. It was a war on three fronts. I escalated my nights, blurring into code and coffee. Haven was taking shape, a platform for the betrayed, a digital sanctuary, where lies couldn't hide. But it was also my anchor, keeping me from drowning in Lauren's betrayal. Claire and I plotted our next move. Freeze the shell company's Owen. Our lawyer was a bulldog, his office stacked with legal tomes. Ethan, he growled, we can lock their accounts by tomorrow. Breach of fiduciary duty, fraud, you name it. But it's a one-shot deal. Once we pull the trigger, they'll know you're fighting back. I nodded, the weight of it settling in. Freezing their money meant trapping Lauren in Mason's web, forcing her to face his true colors. It was cruel, but so was her laugh on that nanny cam, her hand in his, her plans to start fresh without me. The next twist was a knife in the dark. Harper texted me a voicemail intercepted from Mason's burner phone. His voice was slick, urgent. Lauren, we're exposed. Tessa's freaking out. She thinks Ethan's got eyes everywhere. We need to ditch her move. The money to Dubai. Now, Dubai. The word hit like a slap. They knew I was closing in, but not how much. The voicemail ended with Lauren's reply, her voice cracking. I can't lose everything, Mason, fix this, or I'm done. I almost laughed. She thought she could walk away from him, from this mess, like she'd walked away from me. The rain outside my hotel surged, a mirror to my pulse. They were scrambling, and I was the shadow they feared. But doubt crept in a slow poison. I sat alone. Haven's code stalled on my screen and replayed Lauren's voicemail. Her voice, that crack of fear. It was the Lauren I'd loved, the one who'd cried in my arms when her dad died, who'd danced with me in our kitchen to no music. Was she a victim too, caught in Mason's trap? Had I pushed her away, buried in work, blind to her needs? The rain's rhythm turned accusing, each drop a question. Was I the villain in this toxic relationship story? I shoved the thought down, but it lingered, a splinter I couldn't pull. Claire snapped me back. We met at a coffee shop, the air thick with espresso and tension. "Ethan, they're moving," she said, showing me a flight itinerary. Lauren and Mason booked for Dubai in 48 hours. Tessa was listed too, a separate ticket, like an afterthought. "They're cutting her loose," Claire said. "Tessa's expendable now." I leaned forward, the mug burning my palms. Tessa, the mastermind, was about to be betrayed by her own allies. It was poetic, but I wasn't here for poetry. I wanted control. Riley's next article was a grenade: Santorini secrets, the influencer, the conman, and the betrayed friend. It exposed Mason's criminal past, Lauren's financial schemes, and Tessa's double-dealing, all backed by leaked texts and Harper's hacked voicemails. Erupted threads tagged with cheating wife Reddit and wife affair exposed going viral. Lauren's brand collapsed, sponsors fled her DMs, a cesspool of hate. Tessa's agency dropped her. Her friendship with Lauren, now a public joke. I watched the chaos from my hotel, the rain softening to a whisper, but victory felt hollow. Lauren's tearful video replayed in my mind, her plea to talk. Was it a lie or a lifeline? The final twist came at midnight. Owen called, his voice grim. "Ethan, we froze the accounts, but there's a problem." Lauren's lawyer reached out. "She's claiming you coerced her, says she was under duress, with Mason coerced." The word was a blade. Lauren was flipping the script, painting herself as the victim, me as the abuser. Owen continued. "She's got no evidence, but she's desperate. Expect a public stunt soon." I hung up, the hotel's silence deafening. Lauren wasn't just fighting for money. She was fighting for her narrative, her survival. I pictured her eyes, those hazel sparks from our bookshop days, now cold with calculation. This wasn't just a divorce after cheating. It was a chess game, and she'd just moved her queen. I poured my energy into Haven, its interface glowing with promise. It wasn't just a platform. It was my redemption, a place for the broken to find truth. But as I coded, Lauren's voicemail looped in my head, her fear, her plea. Was I destroying her or saving myself? The rain stopped, leaving only my reflection in the window. A man I barely recognized, caught between vengeance and doubt. This cheating story saga wasn't over. Lauren was coming home, and I'd have to face her, not as her husband, but as the man she'd forced me to become. The hotel room felt smaller now, the air thick with the ghost of Lauren's voicemail, her words. I messed up. Ethan looped in my head, a siren call I didn't trust. Outside, Portland's rain had stopped, leaving a damp hush that mirrored my unease. My laptop glowed. Haven's interface, nearly complete, a testament to the man I was becoming. But Lauren was coming home, and this cheating wife story was barreling toward a reckoning I wasn't sure I was ready for. I wasn't the broken husband she'd left behind, but I wasn't a villain either. Or was I? The question gnawed as I packed my bag, the Jeep's keys heavy in my pocket. This wasn't just an infidelity story time. This was the endgame. Claire called at dawn, her voice taut. "Ethan, Lauren's plane lands in 6 hours. Mason's with her, but Tessa's AWOL. My contact at the airport says she never boarded." I leaned against the hotel's chipped desk, my pulse quickening. Tessa, the snake who'd orchestrated this nightmare, had vanished. Was she running or plotting? Claire continued, "Lauren's lawyer's been sniffing around, pushing the coercion angle. No traction yet. But she's desperate. Desperate." The word landed like a stone. Lauren's tearful Santorini video flashed in my mind, her trembling voice, Mason's smirk. Was she a victim, a pawn in his game, or still the woman who'd burned my passport and laughed? I didn't know anymore, and that scared me more than her lies. The first twist came fast. Harper texted a bombshell, a hacked email from Tessa to an unknown contact sent hours ago. "I'm out. They're turning on me. I've got insurance files on both. Meet me in Seattle, insurance." My stomach churned. Tessa had dirt on Lauren, on Mason, maybe on me. Harper followed up, "Ethan. She's got a Dropbox link, I'm cracking it, but it's encrypted. Give me time." Time was the one thing I didn't have. Tessa wasn't just a traitor. She was a wild card, and her disappearance meant trouble. I pictured her fake tears at our wedding, her hand on Lauren's arm whispering poison. This wasn't just a cheating wife Reddit thread. It was a house of cards, and Tessa was about to pull the wrong one. I met Riley at a waterfront cafe, the Columbia River glinting under a rare sun. She slid a tablet across the table, her eyes gleaming. Ethan, the internet's eating, Lauren alive. Her last post got ratioed, 10K downvotes, sponsors ghosting. But here's the kicker, Mason's making moves. She tapped the screen showing bank alerts. Owen's team had flagged. Mason was trying to transfer $300,000 from the frozen shell company to a new account in the Caymans. He's panicking, Riley said. Your freeze caught him off guard. But he's slippery. I stared at the numbers, my coffee untouched. Mason wasn't just a con man. He was a cornered animal, and Lauren was tied to him. I felt a pang not for her, but for the life I'd thought we'd had, the one her note had torched. This husband revenge story was supposed to feel good, but all I tasted was ash. Claire and I regrouped at her office, the city skyline, a stark backdrop. She'd hired a cybersecurity expert, Nadia, a 30-something with a buzz cut and a knack for finding digital ghosts. Nadia cracked Mason's burner phone records, revealing calls to a fixer in Dubai. He's planning to bolt, Nadia said, her fingers flying over her keyboard. But Lauren's not on the same page. Look, she pulled up a text from Lauren to Mason intercepted hours ago. I'm not running, I'm fixing this. You promised we'd stay. Fixing this. I leaned forward, the leather chair creaking. Lauren thought she could salvage her brand, her life, maybe even us. The thought was a blade sharp, unexpected. Was she delusional, or did she believe I'd forgive her? The room spun, Claire's voice distant. I'd read cheating stories where love survived betrayal. Was I naive to think ours couldn't? The next twist was a gut punch. Harper unlocked Tessa's Dropbox, and the files were a landmine: photos, audio, contracts, proof. Tessa had been blackmailing Lauren for months. One recording chilled me. Tessa's voice low and smug to Lauren. Pay me, or I send Ethan the videos. You know which ones. Videos. My mind raced to the nanny cam. Lauren and Mason on our couch, but this was worse. Harper found a clip Lauren and Mason in a hotel, not just intimate, but discussing how to handle me. Lauren's voice, cold. Ethan's too soft, he'll fold. Soft. The word echoed Tessa's texts, a knife twisted deeper. But there was more. Tessa had dirt on Mason too. Bank transfers to a cartel contact in Mexico. She wasn't just a schemer. She was playing with fire, and now she was on the run. I drove to the airport, the Jeep's engine. A steady hum against my racing thoughts. Lauren's plane was landing, and I needed to see her, not to reconcile, but to understand. The terminal was a blur of faces, but hers stood out pale. Her hazel eyes dull. Mason trailed her. His charm replaced by a hunted look. They didn't see me, but I saw everything. Her clenched fists, his whispered urgency, then a shock. Tessa emerged from the crowd, her face haggard, a duffel bag slung over her shoulder. She grabbed Lauren's arm, hissing something I couldn't hear. Lauren yanked away, her voice sharp. You're done, Tess. Leave us alone. Mason pulled Lauren toward the exit, but Tessa's glare locked on me, a split-second recognition. She bolted, vanishing into the throng. My heart pounded. This wasn't just a wife affair exposed. It was chaos, and I was in the eye of the storm. Riley's next move was surgical. Her fourth article, The Betrayal Triangle, lies, blackmail, and a fugitive friend, dropped as Lauren stepped off the plane. It detailed Tessa's blackmail, Mason's cartel ties, and Lauren's crumbling empire backed by Harper's files. X lit up hashtags like cheating wife caught and wife betrayal. Confession trending globally. Lauren's last sponsor bailed her followers. Now a mob chanting caught her cheating reaction. Tessa's name trended too, her agency issuing a panicked statement. Mason's accounts were frozen solid, his Dubai dreams dead. I watched the fallout from a diner, the neon sign flickering like my resolve. Victory should have felt sweet, but Lauren's face at the airport haunted me. Fearful, fragile human. The next curveball was personal. Owen called his voice grim. Ethan, Lauren's lawyer, filed a defamation suit against Riley's outlet. Claims: the articles are libel, Says you orchestrated it. Orchestrated. The accusation stung. I'd fought back, yes, but I hadn't lied. Owen continued. She's also requesting a restraining order. Says you're a threat. A threat me, the man who'd built her a home, who'd loved her through every storm. I gripped the diner's counter, the smell of burnt toast grounding me. Lauren wasn't just fighting for her narrative. She was rewriting mine. I saw her note again. The ashes of my passport, and felt the old rage flare. This wasn't just a divorce after cheating. It was a war for truth, and she was playing dirty. Claire rallied me. We met at Haven's new office, a rented loft with bare walls and big dreams. Nadia had traced Tessa to a motel in Seattle. But she'd slipped the net again, her insurance still out there. Claire's eyes were steel. Ethan Lauren's suit won't hold her own texts, bury her. But we need to end this, end it. The words hung heavy. Haven was live now, its first users sharing stories of betrayal, healing, hope. I scrolled through their posts, each one a mirror to my pain. A user wrote, I read cheating wives' stories, but living one broke me. This app saved me. I paused, my throat tight. Was I saving others, or just myself? The final twist came at dusk. Lauren texted a single line, meet me at the old bookshop. Please, the bookshop where we'd met, where she'd laughed over Vonnegut, where I'd fallen for her. I shouldn't have gone, but I did. The Jeep's tires humming with my doubt. The shop was dim. Its shelves a maze of memories. Lauren stood by the fiction section, her coat damp, her eyes red. No Mason, no Tessa. Just her Ethan. She whispered. I'm sorry. Sorry. The word was a pebble in an ocean of hurt. She stepped closer, her voice breaking. Mason used me. Tessa blackmailed me. I was lost, but I never stopped loving you. I froze, her words a blade to my chest. Loving me. I saw the nanny cam, her laugh, her plans to flee, but her eyes, those hazel sparks, begged me to believe. Why? I asked, my voice raw. She cried, then a flood of words. Mason's charm, Tessa's pressure, her fear of losing her brand. I burned your passport to hurt you, she admitted. Because I hated how good you were. I felt small. Small. The confession hit harder than her lies. I wanted to hate her, to walk away. But my feet wouldn't move. Was this the truth, or her last act in this toxic relationship story? I spoke, my voice steady but hollow. Lauren, you didn't just cheat. You erased me. Our home, our trust, it's gone. This isn't revenge, it's goodbye. Her sob echoed, but I turned, the bookshop's door creaking shut behind me. Outside the air was crisp, the stars piercing the sky. I drove to the loft. Haven's glow waiting. The platform was thriving, thousands joining their stories, weaving a tapestry of resilience. I posted my own anonymous. I lived a cheating wife story. I lost her but found me. Lauren's suit collapsed days later, her texts and voicemails damning her. Mason vanished, likely running from his cartel debts. Tessa surfaced in Canada, her insurance. A dud, empty threats, no leverage I stood on. Haven's virtual stage, a webinar for users, my voice strong. Betrayal doesn't define us, I said, we do. The chat flooded. Husband revenge story done right. Cheating stories heal here. I smiled, but it didn't reach my eyes. Lauren's apology lingered, a question I couldn't answer. Could I have saved her? Or was letting go my salvation? I don't know. Maybe I never will. Was I wrong to fight, to expose her, to rebuild? Or did I protect something greater, myself? If this story shook you, smash that like button, drop your thoughts below, and subscribe to Viora for more tales that hit the heart. What would you have done in my place? Let's talk.